Yep.
In January 2024, when I took you in the night, D'Angelo, your boyfriend, said you left that night. A mother's heart is breaking, nothing here feels right. Spirit Lake remembers, you should be home tonight. Lisa's dogs followed your trail, then were pulled away. Your baby girl is waiting, you never leave her side. The search continues, giving all they can. 2 months later, Isaac Hunt disappeared. D'Angelo was the last to see you both, and questions remain. Where is Jemini? Can you hear our cry? We won't stop searching till we understand why. Red dress hanging, feather in the wind, breaking the silence, let the truth begin. Where is Jemini? Bring our sister home. Too many stolen daughters, they don't walk alone. We stand with your family, calling out your name. Where is Jemini? We won't let this flame fade. Spirit Lake harbors secrets, icy and deep. Too many women have vanished, too many stories left untold. Every time someone gets too close, they're turned away. What are they afraid of? What won't they reveal? She's more than a number, more than a page. Her mother's tears have touched every stage. From the rest of city streets, candles burn tonight. For MMIW sisters, we refuse to lose this fight. Where is Jemini? Can you hear our call? We won't stop searching till we find her. Red dress swaying, feather in the breeze, breaking all silence, let the truth be seen. Where is Jemini? Bring our sister home. Too many stolen daughters, they don't walk alone. We stand together now, calling out your name. Where is Jemini? We won't hide our pain. Silence equals betrayal. We cry out to the sky. Every missing sister matters. No one is left behind. Jemini, your light still shines. Your story isn't finished. From winter's frozen memory, the search continues. No more stolen sisters, no more missing names, no more buried stories, no more whispered shame. We march for every daughter, mother, youth. You deserve justice, you deserve the truth. Whoa, where is Jemini? remember that day. Jemini Posey disappeared, but her memory remains. We won't stop searching, we won't look away. Where is Jemini? We're here to stay. Chelsey keeps your name alive, refusing to conform. Kayla lifts her candle alight against the night. Nikki holds the line, saying we will keep searching for Jemini. If Lisa must return, she'll bring her dogs again through snow, fields, silence and pain. They follow every signal, every whisper in the dirt. No sister is forgotten, no one is left unheard. A chorus from all nations rises, united in their stand, native and unnated together, saying Jemini's name. It's time for the Hunt family to allow them on to the land, so the full search for Jemini can finally begin. Isaac is home, but Jemini's story isn't over. She still deserves to come home. Now the feds and BM must take this seriously. Do your job, find Jemini, justice can't wait. They stand, they search, they fight, they stay. Where's Jemini? The world will learn your name.
Live on the air, Trial Junkies United presents Justice After Dark with your host, the
I'm not gonna do a lot of introductions. Whoops! I see. There we
Yep.
go.
Yeah,
Hit the wrong button.
I got you straight. I got you.
He always gets me straight. What can we say? They all know that if it wasn't for Doc, we'd all be in trouble here. But let's start out with talking about. I want to thank you all, my trial junkies, my truth seekers, and the justice warriors that are here tonight. That you guys know we're gonna.
I got you.
Okay.
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 You're good.
So, oh, thank you, Doc. So, got lost here. So, welcome tonight, you guys. When because it's Thursday, we're dedicating our episode to the MMIP people, our missing and murdered Indigenous brothers and sisters, because their stories do not get told enough. And I'm Z, your storyteller, with my ride or die Doc, who always rides shotgun as we navigate the darkness where the predators hunt and the system fails us. You ready to ride, Doc?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
I'm glad. Because tonight we're discussing, actually, there's two cases coming out of Spirit Lake Reservation in North Dakota that really devastated a lot of people. And there are some things that are going to make you wonder and some questions you all are going to have. And we're going to learn a lot about the community there and what began as two separate disappearances in 2024 is really an interconnected tragedy. And tonight we're going to share this story with two advocates in the area. Nikki should be joining us for a third, but this is about Jemini Madeline Posey and Isaac James Hunt, and an arrest that finally happened for one of them. Only there may be an update. So tonight, I want you all please welcome Chelsey Sloan and Kayla Betts, who are advocates in the area. So girls, I'm glad you were able to join us. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, we're here as a platform for any families that need to have their stories told.
And the people in the chat are saying hello.
Yep.
Hi, everybody.
Got a lot of hellos. I put a map on it. It's probably hard to see you guys, but it shows you the Fort Trotton, the reservation, Lake Spirit Lake, and also up above is Devil's Lake. Okay, this is an area that we're going to travel to again, so just pay attention. But first of all, let's talk about the questions on this case. Let's start with kind of what happened, because there are a lot of questions. And as you guys know, this is about Jemini, she was what, 22 when she disappeared?
21.
21.
21?
Yeah.
Okay, she was
Okay.
21 years old. Chelsey's a hairdresser, so she had been one of your clients, correct, Chelsey? That's how you knew her?
I met her when she was probably 4 or 5 in the hair
Mm.
salon. And
Oh,
her
wow.
Gemini's mom took care of my child at daycare for
Okay.
a few years while he was not school age yet.
Okay. So there is a good connection there. And to Gemini's family, her mother and Jade, her sister, I do apologize. We weren't able to get in touch with you before we did the show tonight. And we want to honor Gemini and your family. And you have our deepest sympathy while you're trying to search for your daughter, because this is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and there I go hitting another button. Wrong
Yeah,
button
it's
again.
okay.
What?
I got you straight.
He added a button on my thing, and it's like now I have extra buttons, and it gets confusing. But Chelsey and Kayla aren't the only ones that have searched for Gemini, of course. Uh, Nikki will be joining us, and they have a fourth person that comes along and helps. She lives on the reservation. I'm not mentioning her name tonight because I want her to feel safe. And then, of course, our own Lissa Yellowbird Chase, which I know how much you guys love Lissa and her boys. There's a picture of the boys. We know when they go out on a search, they're good, and we appreciate that. Kayla, where were you when you heard about Gemini? Where were you living?
I was living in Moorhead, Minnesota, and I had just gone through a pretty traumatic domestic assault myself. And I saw Jade's post. I had worked with Jade in 2014 at the high school with special needs children. And the reservation out here is a very close-knit community.
Okay.
And for better or for worse, it is very all-inclusive. Like they are all they include. So I am 1/8 Anishinaabe, a direct lineal descent of an enrolled member of the Turtle Mountain tribe. But it was made very clear to me from a young age that I wasn't supposed to go out there. So I showed my respect from afar and felt like I wasn't included. But Jade and her family never let anybody feel that way. Gemini's older sister Jade is an angel of a human being, and she made it a point for me to know that one drop of indigenous blood makes you indigenous, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says to you. And those words have impacted me heavily through my journey and through my own advocacy work and through the fight to find my own daughter, which overlapped a lot with what was going on with Gemini and with Isaac.
Okay.
So,
And I think, is your tablet sound on? There might be, you
nope,
might be getting, okay. But Gemini, she was a tiny person. I mean, she was only 4'7", little girl. I mean, just very tiny and just a beautiful young lady.
yeah,
And she had a boyfriend named D'Angelo Hunt, and she had been living with him, but she had recently, and that's D'Angelo's brother, Isaac. We will get to him, so we're just going to leave that there. But on January 3rd, Gemini had taken her stuff and she'd gone home to her mama, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then the baby had an appointment for the doctor on January 5th. So she came back into town. She had her appointment. She went to see her boyfriend. And that's the last we know of Gemini, correct? You know,
From
she
my
was,
knowledge, yes.
yeah. Um, eventually, her mother and sister were notified, you know, that Gemini hadn't been seen by D'Angelo's grandma and that she had the baby. So Jade went and got the baby. So the baby is with Gemini's family, correct?
Gemini's
Correct.
mom.
Yeah. Okay. And so from there, it was really a search trying to find Gemini.
And it was a lot of wading through BS. There was a lot of rumors going around, a lot of people saying a lot of chaotic things, creating different rumors about what had happened and where she was seen and where she could be. And at the time this was happening, North Dakota and Minnesota were in a polar vortex. The temperatures outside were horrific and the wind was insane. And this is prairie. This is prairie country. So there's no trees or big buildings to block that wind. So for a young small person to be out in those elements at that time was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was
We
disheartening.
had just had a really bad storm go through and the weather dropped down. I know when I first started searching, we were in the weather of like negative 40 degrees,
Oh,
Mhm.
but there
wow.
was still a group of us out there.
Oh, man. That's because last week we talked about the Starlight tours that happen up in Canada, and they do happen in the US, um,
Yes, they do.
where the police take Native men and women out and leave them, and it's very dangerous. So we all understand how terrible that can be. So you guys were searching in this terrible weather for Gemini. You continue searching, and then it was almost 2 months later. This is Isaac uh, Hunt, who is D'Angelo, the boyfriend's brother. He disappears. How soon were you guys all notified that he had disappeared?
Around the 15th is when
Okay.
the news was breaking on Facebook. The 15th of March was when um, we had started seeing the posts circulating. But the rumors had already started out of that um, altercation situation that occurred between those two young men. And so again, I was all the way over in Moorhead, and there was a gentleman who was telling me a lot of information about what was happening on Spirit Lake. And I just remember thinking, if even half of what he's saying is true, somebody needs to do something because this is horrific. And I didn't want to call the family and burden them with rumors that I was hearing. So I immediately went to her missing poster and called the FBI number on her first poster that was her missing poster. Before I called the FBI, though, I had called Ramsey County Sheriff's Department, Fort Totten Police Department, Benson County Police Department, and then a number that said BIA. So I was calling people, but then I just decided to go back to the poster because while I was calling these people, everybody was just giving me a runaround, saying, "Oh, we'll take your information, but I'm not sure what'll come out of it." So I was basically regurgitating the same story. It was like 5 times in one day. And then finally, I got a number for the FBI that actually worked. And I was able to get through to a voicemail. And in the voicemail, it had said, "This email that you're supposed to send any tips or any evidence that you found to." So with that email, I had sent these maps that this man had given me, and I heard nothing back. And by May of 2024, At this point, Gemini had been missing for 5 months and Isaac had been missing for 2.5. My daughter was sucked into the human trafficking network in Fargo. And so in my attempts to get more information about what was going on in Fargo, I was being fed a lot of information as well about Spirit Lake. And a lot of the things I heard were almost too awful to be true. And as the cases developed, unfortunately, it turns out most of it was true.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk on that on Sunday.
Yeah.
Kayla's gonna come back and we're gonna discuss that issue. Um, Chelsey, how did you and Kayla and Nikki end up coming together?
Um, we all have a fight that we're all battling, and we have a lot of victims approach us, reach out to us, and we keep them private. We suggest things, we try to help them, and we all have kind of been called crazy for doing and speaking out. But this, we all know each other, our communities are small, but yes, it's bringing us even closer to be able to help victims together.
Right.
Right.
4 brains are definitely better than 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
definitely
and
better than corrupt cops all day. So
and the situation really is, even though we're dealing with a lot of the Native and Indigenous people that are the victims, sometimes they call into question why a Caucasian woman would get involved. But advocacy comes in all colors. It comes in all shapes. It's people, because we're all human. Anybody's cut. We all bleed red. We're all
Hmm.
part of a human family here. And so people care and they want to help because they see the injustice.
When I was
Um,
younger, I was also in a abusive domestic relationship, and I was too scared at the time to press charges on my abuser. I I'm a completely different person today than I was back then. So
right,
my fight for Gemini, it's also for me, for everyone else who can't find their voice. I'm hoping this like brings it to them, or know that there are women out here that care, will try and help.
we don't have to know who you are beforehand either. You can just reach out to us and we'll do everything in our power.
right. And Ben made the comment. He said, so often advocates are called crazy up until the last moment where the evidence removes all doubt. So that
Absolutely.
is so
Amen.
that is something that
The-
happens to advocates. It's not it's not something that you guys are the only ones that have had to face that. But I know,
the-
Chelsey, you've had to shut your business down
I
because you've
did.
had people after you,
Well,
because
and
of this case.
I also had to make a decision, step away from searching for Gemini and focus back on my business, or let these people win who were trying to bring me down. I just I couldn't step away from it because my heart is too big. I suspected D'Angelo right away. It
I
just kind
second
of
that.
lost a lot of things over this. And I mean, social media has helped spread the word for awareness and everything, and I'm hoping this does as well tonight. But it's been nothing but a battle against a lot of negative people wanting to not let us speak out.
Right.
The last 2 months before D'Angelo went to jail, he literally went on a rampage. He was terrorizing the entire community inside Devil's Lake and on the reservation. I had never had any personal contact with him whatsoever. And one day he decided he was going to go through all of my posts of advocacy, the posters of missing children, the posts about Gemini, all of them, and react all of those posts. And coming from somebody that we suspected to be a family annihilator, that was pretty intimidating. But in that moment, I was kind of a brat about it. I was like, I'm not gonna let a ghetto Build-A-Bear intimidate me. I'm not backing down.
Yeah.
So those are my exact thoughts. I'm sorry.
It works for us.
I think Doc really likes that term.
It was terrifying. It was horrifying to see all the things Chelsey and Natasha had posted. I came back to Devil's Lake in January of this year, of 2025, attempting to reprieve my daughter from the situation she was dealing with. And also wanting to be boots on the ground for Jade and Gemini. I really wanted to be there for Jade. I consider her my friend. I look up to her a lot, and the way that her family was able to keep their composure and stay poised throughout all of it, whereas I was on the internet with my rambunctious preteen looking like a rabid dog, yelling at people and putting people's pictures on the internet. Jade and her family were sitting there praying for justice for everyone hurting. And
Even
that
D'Angelo,
shows,
prayers.
yeah,
For
yeah, that shows a level of strength that I didn't know human beings could encompass. A level
Right.
of mercy and grace that only the creator could give someone, because I don't have that. I will say I don't have that.
They took that filter from you.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. God didn't think I needed it. He thought it was much funnier if I was making jokes about uncomfortable things. So
And the situation was D'Angelo was the last person to see both Gemini and his brother. And
correct.
so you guys all put 2 and 2 together, and of course got a lot of persecution for doing that, saying, well, we're talking 2 months here. He's the one that's probably done something to both of them. And Fowla, you're going to be jealous here, but Chelsey actually got to was on the search and got to be with Lissa and the boys. I got to rub it in. Fowla deeply has a very big, crush on Lissa. Who doesn't? But
Exactly. That's another angel on earth, I swear to you.
but Chelsey got to work with her, Fowla. Fowla's laughing.
Mhm.
So you were with her and the boys as she was searching, and the boys did hit on something, correct?
I
They
don't
they
really
were
want.
picking well, they were because I had talked to Lissa today, and she said that they had picked up a scent, but then you guys got told you had to leave
Yeah.
and you couldn't search anymore. And oh, Fowla says she's gonna have 2 more crushes after tonight, girls. So Fowla's one of my mods. She's like my little sister. I love her immensely. She's fun. But so I mean, Lissa got told she had to get out of there with the boys. And we know the boys know what they're doing.
So
We also
just to make sure that everybody understands this was on hunt
property.
land, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I
And
just
so
want
they
to correct that because they're not landowners for that
Okay.
area.
Oh, really?
right.
Yeah,
The land
But yeah,
belongs to the tribe, correct?
and 2 other owners.
Okay. It's a situation where they basically like lease it. Is that correct?
Like a renter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So they lease property. But they were told that you guys had to stop searching, you had to go. In
Mhm.
fact, Chelsey, you were told you weren't allowed to search for Gemini, which
Yeah,
I
we had a big search in April of 2024,
right,
and there was volunteers, state troopers that showed up, and we had spent a good chunk of the morning in one area, and they asked what I would suggest, and I myself got I if anyone watches my posts on Facebook, I'm always talking about a burn pit.
right.
I just showed a picture to the state troopers and told them the address, and they went. I didn't go. I was called to it later on in the day, and I was told I couldn't look for Gemini anymore.
Hmm.
And I'm just trying to
I
figure out how do you
it's
tell someone they can't search?
Yeah.
for the if that came from the authorities.
Um, it was a messenger. The quote was I had pissed someone off on the council, so
Oh,
that's why I was being removed.
We were
But they
told
didn't
later by a judge that they couldn't legally do that.
so
right.
the council was the final decision and that you could not search.
I'm not sure what happened that day, but my interpretation of it was me telling a law enforcement agent where to go, where to actually go was a no-no. And I don't know. I'm still even scared even like speaking that out loud.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
we won't dwell on
Yeah.
that
Yeah. No.
because I don't want you to be scared.
No.
Um, but there was evidence that was found. We don't know what happened to that evidence. Um, and that in itself is somewhat scary. That you find something and then it just kind of disappears. But so I know recently there was another big search because Lissa had gone out there and you guys had all done another big search. Um, I know Nikki had trouble in Devil's Lake for putting up missing posters. They
Mhm.
told her she was going to be arrested. I mean, I don't know how you get arrested for putting up missing posters. And this was the police, you guys. The police were literally told Nikki that she was going to be arrested. She keeps calling him because she wants to be arrested, but that's a whole other thing with Nikki.
Hmm.
Because it
They,
doesn't make sense,
they stated that
because
there's a city ordinance where we're not allowed to hang posters in public areas because they consider it litter. And apparently it's a finable and or jailable offense,
right.
which is
Okay.
interesting because growing up, that's where they hung like posters for like the local bands that were performing or for the ice fishing tournaments that go on. But it'll be interesting to see how people navigate through that now,
Yeah.
because I've noticed the police department hasn't been saying anything to anyone else.
I helped Nikki hang some of those posters, and we had quite a few people approach us and thank us for hanging posters, and that we would get finally we get to see the poster. Like, they were wondering why posters weren't put up before. Well, they were. It's just we were putting them on windows, poles, just making it known, because this is a topic that people need to be aware of.
And this
Right.
isn't a huge city. This is not some 100,000 population. We're talking Devil's Lake has, according to the police, 7,300 people here. And that's
Oh.
in the Devil's Lake city. So for us to be like dissuaded from searching for one of our community members was was a little disgusting, to say
Yeah,
the least.
that's kind of a situation where the population almost dictates that everybody knows everybody's business.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
everybody knows somebody through somebody at
Yeah,
least.
yeah,
Like, you might not personally know this person, but you know maybe a brother, a cousin, an aunt. So you might know someone in the family.
yep.
Yep.
Because I've lived in a small town when I was growing up for a while. Oh, Fowler says they can take her bum to jail. Yeah, I'll start gathering bail money, honey. That's all.
And that's the thing. They won't do that either. At one point, Devils Lake Police Department trespassed me from the facility as well. So it's a lot of it is idle threats just to, like I said, dissuade people from voicing what needs to be said. It's very much a good old boys community, and the good old boys still very much run things, and that can be great sometimes, I hear. But
Well,
I've seen it go so well a lot.
yeah. Well, I do have a shout out for Devil's Lake. We're going to be watching you guys. I have no problem. When I see good police work, I will be the first person to call it out. And I'm thrilled. We did have a police officer up in Fargo that actually did help one of our people put up get a missing persons poster started on them, took a report, and that was awesome. Of course, the
Mm.
supervisor that took it off the thing really was terrible. And so North Dakota, from things I've been learning, I'm going to start paying attention, and we're going to start looking into Devil's Lake. And you cops, we're going to be watching out for these girls because they're doing what needs to be done. They're not vigilantes, they're advocates. Advocates are out there. They're not seeking revenge. They're not going after people with weapons. They're getting the word out. They're helping families. That's what advocacy is. If you guys need a dictionary, let us know. We'll all pitch in. I have no problem doing that for you. And that because this is what you guys have been doing is just trying to help the people that need some answers because there are women and children that are being harmed in the area. And that can't keep continuing. So,
Right.
to kind of get back to the story, after you guys had this last big push where you guys were looking because we knew Lissa was out there, then a few weeks later, the Hunt family decides to have a search. And so on their
Bef-
search,
Hold on. Before
okay,
you talk about that, I did get to walk with Lissa and the dogs.
okay,
Before the family had that search for Isaac, and those dogs did not hit on anything back there.
Hmm.
right. And it was an area that also other authorities had been through at an earlier time with no hits.
Well, that's also the area that I've been screaming about on Facebook about it being a burn pit.
Right. Because everyone and I forgot to get Lissa had sent me a map to show me back behind this property are these trees, and behind that is this indentation, and it's where these people would go out and they would, instead of having a trash person come pick their stuff up, they would take stuff back there and burn it. It's called a burn pit. Self-explanatory. And so Chelsey had been telling people we need to look in the burn pit. And so you had been back there with Lissa, other authorities. I'm sure in your search when you did it back in 2024, authorities had been around there. Nothing's found. And then this last search, which happened, was it November, the end of November?
November 15th, wasn't it? 15th and 16th.
Well, we
Okay,
did find things
right.
in,
I
yeah.
wasn't sure you wanted to talk about that.
I'm not
Uh,
gonna go into the detail of it right now,
right.
but we
Items were
had
found.
and authority figures had to come because of what was found.
Right. But we don't know where that evidence ever went to,
Right.
Hmm.
because one of the gentlemen that was out there with you later got taken off the case for misconduct. Which what was the misconduct? That he was out there doing his job? I don't know.
You know?
Just saying, we don't
It was
know.
pretty scary for me though to be told by, from what I knew was a federal agent, telling me that I could be charged with federal criminal trespassing instead of like, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
searching.
thank you for finding something.
Mm-hmm.
No, instead, we could charge you for federal charges and put you in jail.
Yeah.
I think they train them that way at the police academy
Uh,
because that seems to be across the board in North Dakota.
Well, and it did scare me. I was for a couple of days after. I'm like, what? Am I going to be arrested for this? Like, I wasn't. The whole time, and even now, I'm not out there trying to commit crimes. I'm just
Right,
trying to help bring a loved one home.
right. And that's what it was about. And
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like that the authorities in the area, some of them, we won't say all, because there may be one or two that are good, but some of them, it's like they all took a class together about how to intimidate women. You must be so proud. I mean, to intimidate women, boy, I bet you guys got gold stars in that class. But yeah, I wonder what the governor thinks. Might have to do an email to the governor and ask him what's going on in Lake Stevel. Maybe the attorney general. Don't worry, I'll figure out who, because I did get some emails today. So we'll be sending out some notifications asking them about some of the policies um, that are going on, because this is people that are trying to help look for people. Advocacy is tough work. You don't get rich doing this. You pay your own way.
You pay
You
for the
know,
posters yourself, while the police
yeah,
get paid for posting posters that they don't post.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. And on their cars, it says protect and serve. We're not sure who they're protecting and serving.
Property
Um,
owners,
property
that's what I would
owners.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after this last search on November 15th, the Hunt family is going to go out. They set a time to have their meeting to get in their groups. The Hunt family goes together, and within 2 hours they find part of Isaac. And it's a situation where it was just there out in the open. Now,
Mm-hmm.
where it had been for almost 2 years, I don't think was out in the open. Personally, my opinion, nobody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Liz's dogs didn't pick this up, yeah. Um, and I think it's a situation where we all know the boys, they're gonna pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
So they decide, they go ahead and they arrest his brother D'Angelo for Isaac's demise. Now, there is a $20,000 reward for the return of both of these people. And of course, since they have found one, supposedly the family will be getting the money for their deceased loved one. And this is D'Angelo, charming young dude. Um,
Hmm.
and so, but there was news today that broke.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Chelsey, what was the news today that broke?
There was a lot. I'm still trying to take it in, but it D'Angelo is going to be charged for Gemini's murder.
Right.
There's a whole list. Off the top of my head, I can't recall them, but it's finally, like, I never thought I would get to see the day where we would see his mugshot and him being held accountable for what he did.
Yeah. I have the article here. It says that he is charged with second-degree murder in federal court for the death of his brother. He's facing 9 additional federal counts, including voluntary manslaughter, domestic violence charges, spanning multiple incidents, which would have been with Jemini. He was indicted Thursday on 10 total counts in the U.S. District Court for the District of North Dakota, according to the court documents. The new charges also include 6 counts related to assaults, like I said, with Jemini. They put her initials, like we don't know who JMP is.
Yeah, I was wondering why they would do that.
So it's to protect the victim, but they failed to protect her in 2023. So it's like closing the barn after the cows got out, you know?
I think it's a way of them identifying her without identifying her. So they can say, well, we put her initials. It's just, but the domestic violence cases were between July of 2023 and January 2024. He's also charged with 2 counts of assault resulting in substantial bodily injury to a spouse and an intimate partner or dating partner, 2 counts of assault by strangulation, and 1 count of assault resulting in serious bodily injury. Hunt had previously been questioned about the disappearance of Jemini Posey, his girlfriend at the time, who hasn't been seen since January 5th. Timeline of alleged incidents, it says that the pattern of violence against her started in July of 2023. So this has been going on for quite a while. And that was why she had packed up and she was going to go home. But as we all know, with domestic violence victims, they don't always, it takes so long to get away. And it's not on them. It is never their fault. But it takes a lot for them to finally make that break. Because by the time you become a domestic violence victim, your self-esteem has been taken down to the ground. You think this is what you deserve, and you don't. She was trying to do better for her daughter. And now he's finally being held accountable. And the case was with his brother. They feel, I think, that his brother probably knew something and was going to tell. Him and his brother get in a fight, and then his brother disappears, where he says, oh, he left. I gave him some money and he left. But of course, they check his bank account. Guess what? No money's missing. And then with Jemini, we still need to find her, because yes, they're doing charges, and that's great. And I'm glad that the family might have a little bit of some solace that he may be held accountable. But they need to hold this boy accountable, because he's got some issues. And he's dangerous.
And the sisterly love upstairs.
He's very dangerous.
Yeah. Because
Just
Chelsey,
cold-blooded.
what wasn't he, didn't he try and attack someone at a grocery store, like right around the time everybody was searching?
He
He was trying
was at the local grocery store, and from what I know, was talking some smack to the person behind the counter. I'm not sure what about, but yeah, he got a nice tap on the shoulder from a cop. And
Yeah.
then
He
tased.
was asking the young girl in the deli to show him how to eat a chicken. Show him how to eat rotisserie chicken. And she got creeped out because this is a small town. She knew who that was. That's scary. So, and some community members actually said in one of the videos said that they're who called, because he was giving them the creeps the way he was talking to that young girl. So,
Oh man.
But
And
reports were that he was literally just terrorizing both the reservation and in town in any way that he could. He was harassing Gemini's family members. His family members were harassing the advocates that were going out and searching. Anybody who posted anything about Gemini, you were liable to have somebody post something stupid underneath it. Like
right.
it was almost guaranteed you were going to hear something offensive and your feelings were going to get hurt in some way because they were protecting their family.
Right. And there is I'm sorry, there's a point when a family member has committed a crime that you cannot stand behind them any longer. You can't, and so for them to go after you guys, call you liars, saying that, you're telling lies, that there's no way that D'Angelo did this. And now they're posting things such as, I can't believe he did this to our family. Why? You were told it happened. You weren't listening. I
And
have sympathy. I have sympathy for his family. I don't know if everybody in the family knew, you know, but for those that did, now's the time to come forward. Now's the time to talk, to let Gemini's family have their loved one home. I mean, that's what this is about, is Gemini needs to be found. And he's not the only hunt that's been in trouble, because recently his cousin got arrested for uh having a woman in his home, and he was beating her up, holding her in the basement, was not going to let her leave until she wasn't bruised anymore. But he kept beating her up, so that kind of implies, and there's
Yeah.
the cousin, another upstanding person in the community there. Something's wrong with these boys, and they need to be held accountable, because the violence on women has to stop. These women do not deserve this.
Well,
That poor girl was able to get away.
how many times is it that some people happen to get away with stuff because the authorities or whoever allow them to get away with stuff? If
Yeah,
people sometimes can enable or disable a bully from being a bully.
right.
Um,
Absolutely.
so may in the case of these two upstanding gentlemen, um, you know, they just weren't being called on anything they were doing. I I don't know.
No,
And it just
they were
seems like there was just a wake of terror left behind them. I mean,
Okay.
it wasn't just Gemini. When Isaac passed away, there was an entire group of people that were devastated over Isaac missing too. And then there was, the assaults that happened after that and the other incidences that occurred with that man, um, that really scares people. Like, how can somebody like that just reside in the community? So he at some point I don't know if he got chased off of the reservation or if he was just willingly staying in Devil's Lake. But at some point he was in Devil's Lake and walking around, tearing down Gemini's posters, walking around with a bulletproof vest on, like acting literally untouchable and giving dirty looks to people, hanging out with other young Native men, young impressionable Native men, especially for young boys. It seems like they're most impressionable between the ages of 16 and 20. Like that is the most impressionable time for them, other than when they're very young children. And that was the age group of young men that D'Angelo was hanging around in town here, was younger guys. And That's scary. I mean, those weren't the only people he was hanging around with, but on numerous occasions, I saw him walking around with gentlemen, with young men that I knew were 18, 19, and 20 years old. And why are you hanging out with such young kids?
Yeah. Well, because he was probably telling them stories and they were looking up to him, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but it's bad when the cops turn into bullies. You're already dealing with a bully, and then the
Yeah.
cops want to bully
Mhm.
the advocates,
Hmm.
And
and that
they would make sure to tell us things like, you don't need to be out on the street by yourself. You know there's a murderer out here, right? You know there's murderers in this town, right? Like we didn't already know.
yeah,
Why are they still in town? Why, like if he wasn't welcome on the reservation, why was he welcome in city limits?
yeah. Well, that there are questions, and I told everybody there are going to be questions with this case. It is a case we're going to watch because I hope that they don't just do some plea deal. I hope they do hold him accountable. And for Gemini's family, I just hope that they can bring her home. I hope
Mhm.
somebody within the family or somebody that knows will talk because that's what's important right now. She needs to be found. Um, these guys have done
D'Angelo, if you can talk too.
yeah,
It,
yeah,
it it's time. I mean, it's
yeah,
past time. It's well overdue.
yeah. I mean, and it's at a point where they know that he is the one responsible. Yes, there will be a trial, and he is considered innocent until proven guilty, but they do have a lot of evidence.
And
So,
he admitted to doing what he did to his brother. So,
okay. Well, hopefully he'll go ahead and admit to what he did to Gemini.
And obviously, they have lots and lots of evidence other than having a body, right? I
yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah. They went back and they investigated his father's house because that's where he was living at the time.
okay.
And they did find evidence,
But not
So
of
they were,
Gemini, of
but
the
no,
two boys.
right. But he was living in Fort Totten when she disappeared.
Correct.
So,
And
and I don't know if that apartment was ever thoroughly inspected. I don't know. We don't know what's happened.
Hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
hopefully maybe he'll talk, you know. But they
it's just
finally felt
insane to think about how a person, because he's still a human being. Like, yes, he's a monster, but he's he's still a human being. He still has those human emotions, guilt and shame and fear and sadness and longing and all of those feelings. And it's weird to see how he was able to just bottle all of that down and just let it come out as anger and denial. I
yeah,
it could be studied, honestly.
Well,
yeah,
to be honest, there are those people that they look at a situation if there isn't anything in it for me, then why would I want to open my mouth?
Right.
yeah,
And hopefully that's not the case with him, but from everything that has been described about him, um I don't hold out a lot of hope that he's going to crack under a little bit of pressure. I mean, it's going to have to be something significant, um,
yeah,
and um, like Z said, it will be interesting to follow this, to its completion because um, he needs to be held accountable.
yeah.
Um,
And it's time for the authorities to realize they dropped the ball here.
hmm
Um, if they would have listened to people earlier, if they would have excavated those burn pits, earlier, would D'Angelo or would Isaac be gone? We don't know. Because we don't know where Gemini is. So those are questions that the authorities are going to have to ask themselves. They need to do some self-meditation. And we know Lissa and her dogs, hey, they'll come out again. If that's what it's going to take, they'll come out again. But those pits need to be excavated. The Hunt family needs to let them on the property. And
Yep.
I plead with the tribal council that they let them come on the property, because that's what needs to happen right now. They need to have this looked at. They need to have this excavated, and Gemini needs to be brought home. That's all there is to it.
Gemini's mother deserves peace.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And I agree with you girls totally. I think you guys have done an amazing job for all the terrible, pressure that you've been put under during this time. And our hearts do go out to Gemini's family, her daughter, because there's no winners in this situation. I mean, we're glad that he's being held accountable, but there's no winners. It's nothing that, like people are, yay, celebrating. It's a situation because Gemini's little girl has lost both of her parents, more than likely.
Right. And
Um,
D'Angelo going to jail doesn't bring Gemini back. Even,
no.
when we find her, she's not going to be making music videos anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
And that's the reality that her family has had to sit in for almost 2 years now, gritting their teeth, white knuckling it, praying every day for some sort of miracle to come out of it. And so at this point, we're just asking for justice for them, because
Right.
it's horrible.
Well, and I did read a comment that her older sister had said that because she was a lot older than Gemini, she said it was like having my own little baby. And you can't imagine how that probably breaks her heart that her little sister is not there to care for her little girl.
And this is a
And
close family too. The Poseys are very close. It's not like some of these families, some of these modern families where you only see each other at Christmas time. This is the type of family that got together for every birthday, that got together for every holiday, that would make excuses to get together and spend time together and make memories. And so for them to have a pivotal member, I mean, she was such a young mother. She literally had her whole life ahead of her, all of the
Right.
blessings, miracles that she was supposed to get to experience, all of it ripped away in what the news article called a moment of passion.
Yeah, that's not what you call a crime of passion. I know that's what they like to say. There's no passion involved.
No.
No,
There,
because if that's passion, I never want to see passion again.
yeah, that's not passion. So with this case, I know you guys are doing other advocacy work, trying to reach out, letting the community know that
I
you're
lost
there.
sound.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay.
Oh,
Are you
We
back?
can hear you. Can you
we
hear
can hear
us?
you. We can hear you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So Chelsey, what does your advocacy work look like now? That we've had some big cases on here on Gemini. Do you have other big cases that you're looking at this time that you're concerned with, or is there just multiple cases?
Oh,
Uh,
I think she signed back in.
I don't
okay.
I don't think
Oh,
I don't think anybody heard that.
I heard it.
Okay.
I heard you.
Okay. Good.
Oh, okay, Kayla. What case? Well, you had sent me one that you are looking at, which is we have already showed as a missing person was dam.
Demina Guzman.
Yes. Yes. Tamina
Yes.
and that's one you're really concerned about right now. Because she's
That
been
one,
how long has she been
that
missing?
10 weeks right now.
Okay.
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 And she was last seen on September 26th. She went missing after the homecoming dance. And according to a news article that was just posted today, after I contacted the Fargo police chief and let him know what his job description entailed, respectfully as I could, they did post her video to Valley News Live because it is a North Dakota police officer's job. It is the job of the local police departments to inform the community at large when a community member is missing. And the Fargo Police Department specifically is horrible when it comes to missing children.
Right.
And Sunday's show will definitely dive into that because to be honest, I'm still completely traumatized by what I experienced from those people. Which is why I immediately jumped in. You had asked earlier how we all got tied together. Chelsey and Natasha had been speaking and doing the things the whole time. Nikki came in and was helping them, backing them up, being the voice behind them. And then after D'Angelo ha-ha'd my page, I was just like, no, we're not doing this. There was a court hearing, and I took it upon myself to go there to show these women support. And since then, we've been working together to try to keep this community and Spirit Lake equally safe, by working together and compiling the knowledge we have of different situations and different interactions and different high risks that this community is enduring. And so we really just come together as a group to try to keep all the women safe. There's a huge human trafficking network that is continuously talked about, but it seems there's no arrests.
Right.
And
And we'll talk about that on Sunday. We'll jump into that big time. Because we had a good conversation about that the other night to see what we can do. Um,
Mhm.
okay, OnlyFans says Fargo PD can farg off.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
they
oh
should
yes.
go far, far away.
Can you guys hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, we
Yes, we
can.
can.
I don't know what
Yes,
happened.
Chelsey. Okay. So Chelsey, is there a certain case that you're beside Gemini's wanting to see her brought home? Is there a case that you're particularly interested in right now or concerned about?
Joe Bruce Sr.
Okay.
He was another victim of a murder on Spirit Lake Reservation. Nothing's really come out with that. There's no information other than a skull was found a year after his van was found.
Okay. And that's
Um,
it.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of quote speculation, but
Right.
it's it's always one that kind of caught my eye. Not sure why,
Okay.
but it did.
Okay. Well, we'll look into that one too and see what it's about. Anytime you girls have a case that you want us to focus on, hey, come. We'll be glad to have you. Or if you just have a missing poster that you think really needs attention, um, we always try and do 3 to 4 every episode. So every Sunday, every Thursday. Once in a while, it is not a native or indigenous person if we have someone do a special request, but otherwise, all of our posters that we use from the different people that put them out are native and indigenous because they're the people that do not get the focus that they deserve. Um, and so we'll be glad to do that for you guys in any way that we can help you guys in your community uh, with your advocacy. Um, we're
Thank
glad to
you.
help, you know. That's what we're here. We're a platform. Like I've told Lissa, I'm at a point due to circumstances I can't physically get out and do searches. So this is what I do. This is how I help. We all have a point that we can do, and it doesn't matter who and what you are. I ask all of you guys, please get out there and help. Because every person deserves to be found. And quickly, let me go into our missing people that we have for tonight, you guys. Remember, people go missing and they may leave voluntarily, but then they get in a situation that they can't get out of. And sometimes they can't because trafficking is real. So remember, when you're out and about, quit looking at the cell phone. Look around you. If you see something, report it. Don't think somebody else is going to do it. You need to do it. And by doing this, you could save a life. And that's what's important. And our first person that we have is Cameron.
Before you get to that,
Yeah.
Z, I just wanted to Chelsey, you are you aware that we can't see you? We can hear you. Yeah, I don't
You're
I it,
invisible.
I don't want you to change anything if it messes up your connection on your end, because we can hear you just fine.
Right.
But I just wanted you to be aware that we can't see you right now.
She's in hiding right now.
Okay. All right.
Witness protection.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's working. It's working. But this is Cameron Street, you guys. He's 13. He has been missing since November 30th of 2025 from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. He's of the First Nations. He's 6 foot, 120 pounds, 13. Brown eyes, brown hair, shoulder length. The picture shows short hair, so shoulder length. He was last seen wearing a green army jacket, green cargo pants, gray black shoes. He was last seen at 1 p.m. on the 30th in the 1200 block of Avenue North South. Any information, you contact the Saskatoon Police at 306 975 8300, Crime Stoppers 1 800 222 8477. You can also, if maybe you don't have a love for the police, we have a tip line. It's trial, the number 4, or tips, the number 4, Trial Junkies United at gmail.com. I'll call the cops for you. You know, let's get him found. He's 13. This is Chloe Renee Big Hair. She's 16, you guys. November 28th was the last time she was seen in Hardin, Montana. And we know how Montana is. She has brown eyes and brown hair. She's 5'11" and 130 pounds. The Hardin Police Department is 406 665 9292. If you have information, please contact them or the Montana Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 406 444 2800. Our next one, this is Kimberly Michelle Iron. She's 26 years old. She also goes by Kimberly Bear Claw Iron. Now, she's been missing since December 1st from Billings, Montana. She has brown eyes and brown hair, and she's 5'3" and 130 pounds. Contact the Billings Police Department at 406 657 8461 or the Montana Clearinghouse, 406 444 2800. Now, if she's in your area and not in her home state, any of these people, you can always contact your local police, because if it is a trafficking situation, they move them around. It's better to call even if you get it's not the right person. Get it checked out, because like I said, you can save a life. Our last person here, this is Steve Roger Longi. And Jada, I know that's your name. I'm sorry, what was that, Kayla?
Longi.
Longi.
Longi. Yes.
Longi.
And Jada's in the chat, which I'm familiar with Jada, and I know Longy is her last name, and then I butcher it. I'm sorry, Jada. But he has been missing from the North Dakota communities, from Belcourt, North Dakota, Turtle Mountain, since October 6th of 2020. This is an old one, guys. 5 years. He was 56, so when he was last seen, so we're talking 5 years ago, he would be 61. He was a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians, 6'1", 170 pounds, brown hair and eyes. He left behind all of his personal belongings, uncashed checks, medication, no cell phone. The FBI thinks he met with foul play. There is a $5,000 reward. He has a number. M as in Michael, P as in Paul, 83337. There's no DNA or dental comparisons available. So if anybody thinks that they have seen him, contact the FBI Minot office at 701-852-5071. The case number 198 A-M as in Michael, P as in Paul, 3389873. Let's see if they can get answers for his family. So any last words from either of you girls?
Thank you for letting us speak.
It was a privilege to have you on. And I look forward to continuing our friendship and being of service to you guys and helping you in any way we can. I want to give a shout out to Bob, who actually gave us a donation last week. Thank you, Bob, because we're not monetized here, but we do have places where people in the description can help if they want to. They don't have to, because please, if you're having financial difficulties, take care of your family. That's first thing. If you do have something extra, we have put a link for Lissa Yellowbird Chase. She has an Amazon wish list. It's mostly stuff for her boys, the dogs, things like paper, SIM cards, things to help in her search. So please, if you're able, go ahead and donate, purchase something to help with her searches, because we know how we all love Lissa. And I've told Nikki that you girls probably need to get together and do an Amazon wish list. I think one of the things on Lissa's list is like some coveralls when she goes out searching. Just things like that you need for searches. It's a way to get some assistance. So remember, you guys, every killer out there depends on your silence. Please don't give it to him. If you know something, you speak up, because it wasn't a mannequin. It never is. And we know that somebody always knows something. And our motto around here, let's not forget Gemini. She needs to be found. She was a beautiful young girl. She needs to be brought home to her family. Remember, somebody does know. And if we see it, we're going to say it, because silence is betrayal. And that's what it is. And I pray that somebody in the Hunt family will come forward, or somebody that knows something. If anyone's creeping around the edges of this story and knows details, be a man or a woman and do something about it. Okay? Take them little toys out of whoever's purse and wear them and do something. That's all I can tell you. So tonight we told a story that mattered, and it was Gemini's story. These are our Indigenous and Native brothers and sisters. They deserve to be remembered. They deserve to be searched for, to be brought home. Tonight we were honored to have true warriors with us. And these guys are boots on the ground. They don't show up for photo shoots. They're actually out there searching. And Kayla and Chelsey, thank you for being here. Thank you for never giving up and for being the boots on the ground when others turn away. We thank our very own Lissa Yellowbird Chase and her boys for their tireless work trying to find Gemini and Isaac too. So please tonight, you guys, if anybody knows anything, you think you might know where Gemini is, 701-766-4231. You know, that's Fort Totten's number. There are other numbers. You can look on her flyer that we had at the beginning and get numbers. So please, please get the word out. Let's get her brought home. Let's do what we can to help these guys whenever we can. If you're on vacation or somewhere and you hear a search is going on, donate some time. If you can't, and some of these searchers like Lissa has a wish list and they just need paper and ink, to get flyers out, donate. Do what you can. We can all do a little something, even if it's just getting on social media and reposting posters of the missing. We all can have a part. So
Always
you
share
guys,
the posters. Always share
go
the
ahead.
posters. If you see posters posted on social media, there was a good long period, I want to say it was 6 or 8 months, where anytime somebody would post a picture of a missing child or a missing person, the comments underneath it would say spam. And there is no harm if it's spam. If the person has already been found, you're not hurting anything by sharing that poster again anyway. You are harming them by ignoring it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Definitely.
Kayla, I can't hear you, darling.
Oh, yeah.
All done. Still quiet?
I can hear you.
I can
Oh, there
hear
she
her.
is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Kayla. I'm sorry.
It's important for people to know that you can help save lives by sharing those posters. You might not know where the child or the human being is, but somebody you know might know. And just that one little share button can save somebody's life.
Yes.
Yeah. And you guys, that's the message. So keep seeking truth, keep demanding justice, never stop speaking out. We have a community here that cares. We're trying to grow it. Share this podcast. Get it out there. Let people hear about Gemini's story. Share it on your social media. Hit the like button. If you know someone that wasn't here tonight, tell them to hit the rewatch crew and they can watch it. But we love you guys. You mean a lot to all of us. Sunday, Kayla's going to be back. I'm not sure who all is going to be with her, but we might have a couple of more guests because we are going to talk about the trafficking situation. So I love you. Come back Sunday night. Ciao, guys. Listen to the song again. And I hope it means something to y'all. Night.
In January 2024, when I took you in the night, D'Angelo, your boyfriend, said you left that night. A mother's heart is breaking, nothing here feels right. Spirit Lake remembers, you should be home tonight. Lissa's dogs followed your trail, then were pulled away. Your baby girl is waiting, you never leave her side. The search continues, giving all they can. 2 months later, Isaac Hunt disappeared. D'Angelo was the last to see you both, and questions remain. Where is Jemini? Can you hear our cry? We won't stop searching till we understand why. Red dress hanging, feather in the wind, breaking begin? Where is Jemini? Bring our sister home. Too many stolen daughters, they don't walk alone. We stand with your family, calling out your name. Where is Jemini? We won't let this flame fade. Spirit Lake harbor secrets, icy and deep. Too many women have vanished. Too many stories left untold. Every time someone gets too close, they're turned away. What are they afraid of? What won't they reveal? She's more than a number, more than a page. Her mother's tears have touched every stage. From the rest of city streets, candles burn tonight. For MMIW sisters, we refuse to lose this fight. Where is Jemini? Can you hear our call? We won't stop searching till we find her. Red dress swaying, feather in the breeze, breaking all silence, let the truth be seen. Where is Jemini? Bring our sister home. Too many stolen daughters, they don't walk alone. We stand together now, calling out your name. Where is Jemini? We won't hide our pain. Silence equals betrayal. We cry out to the sky. Every missing sister matters. No one is left behind. Jemini, your light still shines. Your story isn't finished. From winter's frozen memory, the search continues. No more stolen sisters, no more missing names, no more buried stories, no more whispered shame. We march for every daughter, mother, youth. You deserve justice, you deserve the truth. Whoa, where is Jemini? Hear our battle cry. Indigenous women matter, we demand to know why. Red dress lifted, sacred feather flies, breaking the silence with unified cries. Where is Jemini? Bring our sister home. You're never forgotten, you don't walk alone. We stand with your family, calling out your name. Where is Jemini? Justice is our aim. January 5th, we remember that day. Jemini Posey disappeared, but her memory remains. We won't stop searching, we won't look away. Where is Jemini? We're here to stay. Chelsey keeps your name alive, refusing to conform. Kayla lifts her candle alight against the night. Nikki holds the line, saying we will keep searching for Jemini. If Lisa must return, she'll bring her dogs again. Through snow, fields, silence and pain, they follow every signal, every whisper in the dirt. No sister is forgotten, no one is left unheard. A chorus from all nations rises, united in their stand, native and unnated together, saying Jemini's name. It's time for the Hunt family to allow them onto the land, so the full search for Jemini can finally begin. Isaac is home, but Jemini's story isn't over. She still deserves to come home. Now the feds and BM must take this seriously. Do your job, find Jemini.